guys, it's Amanda here this week with Homeschool and Life. First off, thank you guys so much for even taking the time to tune in to Lauren and I's videos. We're almost coming up on a year doing this, and we've just grown a lot, learned a lot, and we are still enjoying what we're doing. So today, it's kind of like a Homeschool Mom Summer Edition current list. Lauren did a video like this a few weeks ago, and I thought it was really cool. So the best form of flattery is to copy, right? Compliment, or the best compliment is to want to do what they did because it was cool. So I am going to bring you my current homeschool mom list for the summer of what I'm loving, what I'm reading, what I'm working on, and what I am eating. Because I know the homeschool life kind of changes in the summer for what you're doing and what you're into, and just your whole routine changes. So the first thing, do you guys like just chats? Lauren and I both watch several other homeschool mom YouTubers, and I really like the ones who are just very real and just sharing what's with their life and their stuff, and I glean wisdom from curriculums they're using or whatever, because it just normalizes things. You're making things like your real life, and homeschool is very much part of it and integrated into it. So anyways, with that being said, that's my little philosophy for the moment. Today, what I am loving, it didn't take me long to make up this list, and I'll show you guys if you care, but I just paid to have my kitchen cabinets professionally painted. We have lived in our home for like 13-14 years, and it was just time. I know this is bad, I've been kind of griping about it for a couple of years. The paint was nicked off, and even when I cleaned them, I couldn't get them real clean, and I've repainted them myself and everything, but I just really wanted it done. So it took me probably 6 to 7 months to make the decision on the purchase, and they just finished this week, and so I have very nice new painted cabinets. And just as being a mom and homeschooling and being in your home so much, which is funny because I feel like we're out of the home a ton too, but it's your main domain. It was very much worth the purchase. So if anybody is wondering, I painted them a alabaster from Sherwin-Williams, and it looks really good. I really wanted to paint them this funky color, like a sagey green, bluish green color, but I didn't have the guts to do it, because since I was paying for it, I thought, oh, it'll have to be like this for a while, and we have an open floor plan, so I just didn't have the guts. But everybody out there who has colored cabinets, good job to you. You were way brave, and I would probably love your cabinets, because I always love it when I see people's, but I just couldn't do it. I'm not super good at that kind of stuff, so I just went with a classic white alabaster, because if I had changed them, I would have had to have changed like the color of my kitchen table and the color of my rug, and then I would have had to change, it's open in there, and I'd had to change the living room color. So I was just like, forget it, we're just gonna go with the alabaster. So I'm loving my kitchen cabinets. I am also loving, what did I put on my list? Tinted moisturizer. I think I put that on end of video list another time of some of my favorites. In the summer, tinted moisturizer is my favorite thing. So just kind of a simple thing. And I am loving fresh flowers on my table. Summertime is a great time to do that. And I am also loving a cleaner house. I know, like, homeschool moms are probably the complete opposite from other moms, because our seasons are opposite. My house is so much cleaner in the summer, and it's because we are not doing school, and there's books and there's paper and trash and markers and glue and science projects everywhere. And so I've just noticed for the month of June, like my house is much cleaner in the summer. But my good friend, she does not homeschool, and she's like, my house is so messy in the summer. But for a homeschool mom, typically the house is a little bit cleaner in the summer, just because you are not getting out as much school stuff. So those are just a couple of things I'm loving. What's next on my list? What I'm reading. I'm actually reading several different things right now. I can't really recommend any of them, but I can share what I'm reading and why I am reading it. So the first thing I'm reading, it's a River of Time series by Lisa T. I don't know if it's Bergen or Bergen. I should probably have looked that up. But here's why I'm reading this, and I think it's relevant to like homeschooling and relationships with your children. My daughter she likes to read, and she's read this series like twice, and she has went on and on about how it is her favorite. Well, I shouldn't say her favorite. She likes it. She's read several different series, and she really likes this one, and she keeps asking me to read it. And so I am reading it to dive into her world to see what she likes, why she likes it, maybe discuss something with it. So really it's probably not my typical genre, but I'm reading it for, when you have kids, you to be part of their lives, like you make some of their interests your interest so you can go into their world. So I'm reading that just because my daughter likes the book and I want to be able to communicate with her. So the second thing I'm reading, oh man, I don't know about this. I know you avid readers. This is the Count of Monte Cristo. So my husband and my daughter and their grandma wanted to do a book club with this last year, and I was like, they're having to read too much stuff for me for school. And so then they were all like, well, read it in the summer. And I like book club type stuff. We've showed videos before of Lauren and I doing a little book club with our daughters, and they've loved it. And so like I didn't want to be left out because I think there's a lot of fun stuff that you could do with a book club. And so I made them wait on me. And so now, because I've committed, I have to start reading this with them to finish before the end of summer, so we could have a little Count of Monte Cristo party. So if you've ever had one of those, and if you have some recommendations of things to do or food or whatever, you can just leave it in the comments if you've done that. So that's a big deal. I've actually this is the only copy we have, so I went on to Thrift Books and I have ordered several more copies so that everybody in the house that wants to be a part of it can. My teenage son wants to be, but he wants to read the abridged version. But I was like, okay, fine, if you do that, you can't even start reading it until like a week before our thing, because he'll finish it in 1 second. And it'll take me a minute to read this, because typically I read at night and I fall asleep. So anyways, there's something else I'm reading. I'm reading several things right now. It's just a parenting, gospel-centered parenting book. I haven't read it yet, so I can't really give you my opinion or feedback on it, but it's by Paul David Tripp. And he has a devotional that I own that I actually gift to people because it's one of the best devotionals I've ever had. And so I typically like a lot of the things he does. And this is just for me to read this summer as kind of a refresh on gospel-centered parenting, and just remembering that homeschool is refining yourself, marriage refines you, just parenting refines you in general, and a lot of times it's things in your character to help you work on. And so anyways, just to keep me kind of centered on my goals and things like that, because what you fill yourself up with is typically what you do. So anyways, after I finish it, I can give you my recommendation. I've read lots of stuff like this by lots of different authors, and so I don't know if this will be anything new or different, but I'm sure it'll always be refreshing. Kind of like Sarah Mackenzie's Teaching from Rest. I've read that book several times, and it's always just refreshing to read right before you start a homeschool year. So that's what my husband and I are actually going through this together. And I actually am reading more. I listen to these, though. I am a runner. I run all the time, and so I'm listening to a few running books. I always do those audio just because sometimes while I'm running, it's motivating. I haven't really loved any of them, so I can't really recommend them, but just kind of the stuff I'm filling myself up with is what I'm sharing with you. My running partner did recommend me one that was more faith-based on kind of the perspective, and so I'm about to start it, and so I hope that it's encouraging and uplifting and things like that, because that leads me into what I'm working on. And one of the main things I'm working on right now, among a few, is I'm training for a marathon. It'll be my third one, and if you guys are interested in that, I can do a whole series on marathon training. I've actually written a lot of, I guess, thoughts on I've called it the marathon of motherhood, but it could be the marathon of homeschool motherhood. Just how so much that training spills over into helping me be a homeschool mom and things like that. And so it's a lot, and so I'm working on marathon training. This morning I met my running partner at 6. We ran 9 miles with 5 1 miles fast. Anyways, we have a whole routine of easy runs, speed days, long runs. And so if you're interested, I can share more about that. But like I've said before, I like homeschooling and I like running, and I very rarely find somebody that likes to talk about both, which my friend, my running partner, does. And so she homeschools and runs, and so we feel like kindred spirits of able to talk about stuff. So anyways, that's one thing I'm working on. Another thing I'm working on is I am working on my master's in nutrition. Ask me why. Oh my goodness. I'm in a class right now, and it's about to finish up next week, and then I have one more class in the fall, and then I will be done. If you have any advice for your kids who are maybe going to college, tell them to get their master's right after their bachelor's. I wish that I had not waited. But I had started my job and career and things like that, and so I didn't go straight to my master's, so I'm doing it right now. And it's pretty hard, I'm not going to lie, but I'm working on that. So that's what's taking up a lot of my time this summer, summer one, I guess, is working on that. But I guess a good thing is me being in the student seat again is, I guess, helps me be a better teacher to my own children in the fall. So working on that, and I, of course, probably like all of you out there, I don't know, there might be some eager beaver homeschool mamas out there, but I'm working on my homeschool planning. I thought I wanted to work on it right after we got out of school, and I did. I researched for about a week, and then I just was like, nope, I'm done. I need a second to refresh, recharge, and plan. So, but I'm into it now, so I'm homeschool planning. My homeschool planning looks different this year because of counting credits. And so instead of more based on, you know, it's a little bit, when they're younger, it's a little bit more loose on the order you take things. But now, like, I'm kind of mapping out the next 4 years for my daughter, and it'll be a little bit less flexibility. But I feel like it's easier planning. And then once I plan this summer, planning for her will not be near as hard with, you know, whatever changes we need to make as we go. But that's what I'm doing, is homeschool planning. My year is going to look very different next year, and I can post a video about that for you guys, to not make this one too long. I hope you guys, when these videos pop up, I hope you pop in your headphones and listen to us while you're cooking dinner. That's what I do when I'm listening to these types of videos. So anyways, that's what I'm working on, homeschool planning and organizing my cabinets, because since I told you I got them painted, I started to put all my stuff back in there the other day, and then I was like, no, I'm going to reorganize all of them. And so I put everything back into the boxes and stuck it in my pantry, and I'm going to go and buy all the organizational things to try to reorganize my cabinets where we put stuff, which I don't know why. My kids put up the dishes, and so it's not going to stay organized. Those of you guys who do have your stuff staying organized, kudos to you. You're awesome. But I guess where I draw the line is I want them to do chores. Kids never do it exactly how you want it. And so, for example, they never put the correct utensils in the correct drawer. But anyways, I'm going to try to organize it. So those are the things I'm working on: class, marathon, homeschool planning, and organizing. I'm sure that sounds like a typical summer. And so back to my list. What am I eating? Well, it's summer, so we are eating grilled food and garden food. Menu planning for me in the summer is very easy. I basically just go get some type of protein, meat, chicken, beef, or fish, and we grill it, and then we go to our garden and we pick something else to go with it. So very simple meals in the summer is what I'm eating. And I would say for me, though, the biggest thing personally that I'm working on is trying to get the correct amount of protein in my diet with the marathon training and the strength training that I'm doing with it. And I struggle with that because, you know, right after you run, you need to eat, and I don't like to eat right after I run. So, like, I am really working on putting an emphasis on nutrition for marathon training, even though I find it very difficult, because in the summer I would really just like to eat some watermelon and drink some water and go on, but being intentional about that is good for me. So those are, I guess, the main things going on with me right now. Lauren and I have some plans to bring you our curriculum videos. I always love it when we get to that part of the summer, and the unboxing and the showing you what we're doing for each grade. I'm already getting motivated for the next school year, even though I'm probably a little terrified of the scheduling, but you know, we'll figure it out and make it work. So anyways, thank you guys so much for listening. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments. If you have any videos you'd love us to make, please drop them in the comments. Please like this video and subscribe to our channel and just join our community at Homeschool in Life, and we will see you next week.